good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you happen to be watching this. Y'all, it's another Wednesday, and it's getting to be hot, 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 and your girl is lazy. Y'all about to start to see me in head wraps because number one, that keep me cool. Number two, I'm lazy when it comes to the hair. Even though, you'll see the pop of color, but it is what it is. For those of you who are just like, who is this girl talking about hair on a tax video? Hi, I'm Patrice L. Berry, aka the Tax Cop. For those of you who know me, what's up? For those of you who are just meeting me, hey y'all. This week we're gonna talk about something that has been placed on my heart, y'all. Placed on my heart. Um, I need us to do a better job, especially now that it's the summertime and we can kind of like breathe. We're spending a little bit more time outside. We're getting a little bit more we're touching the ground, we're getting grounded. I need us to have personal financial statements. Y'all like, what do that got to do with personal financials? What do personal financial statements got to do with anything else? Well, let me tell you. Notices are coming from the IRS. Notices are coming from the state. And a lot of times, in order for you all to even be able to uh, not even qualify, I'm not going to say, to end up justifying, that's probably the best word, to justify the amount that you really want to pay because your cash flow is cash flowing or ain't cash flowing and the money is doing what it's doing or not doing, you need to be able to support that with a financial statement. Automatically, all day long, if you're going to do an offer and compromise, or if you're going to do a value that's different, a payment plan amount that is different than a streamlined payment plan, the IRS going to tell you all day, cough up that information. They're going to ask you to cough up the financial statement information. And I have found in my years of experience, even for myself, that if you don't have that personal financial statement ready, sometimes that is the very first time when you get a request like that to be able to negotiate a different dollar amount, that you ever do a financial statement for your own self. Now, my business clients normally have them in some way, shape, or form. Even if it's on a spreadsheet or they wrote it down and be like, they know how much flowed in, they know how much business expenses went out, they got an idea of what their bottom line is. But how many of us realize that as individuals, our households, if you got kids, if you don't got kids, if you got a dog, if you don't got a dog, if you got a spouse, if you don't got a spouse, you also have a household personal financial statement. You do. Personal financial statement. And so I want to, over the next 3 weeks, take us through this entire process of how to actually establish a personal financial statement, give you some ideas, and provide some templates of a personal financial statement that you can use, and share with you some tools and software that I use personally and have used in the past to create a personal financial statement. Why? Because if we ready now, we ain't got to get ready later on, right? We can stay ready. We can update this thing. And I'll tell you, my rule of thumb that I'm instituting even for myself is making sure that every quarter, and we just so happen to be in Q2, right? It's June. We like 6 months in. Every quarter, we need to go back and revise that personal financial statement. Why? Because it's going to be a great tool for you to discuss at family meetings. If you're not having family meetings, we need to get into the habit of doing better and letting everybody in the family know what's going on with our stuff. And if you go to the bank, if you try to get a loan, you're trying to get grants for stuff that's coming out, you got to go buy an asset of any sort. You buying a house, they definitely want a financial statement of some sort, plus the taxes. So therefore, why not have that stuff ready so that you don't have to feel overwhelmed and put your head in the sand like an ostrich, which we do from time to time when it comes to financial matters. Why? Because we don't like to talk about finances. We're in a political season. We don't like to talk about politics. And there's so many other taboo topics that this should not be one. Let's normalize each one of us having a personal financial statement that we can get our hands on. And I'm talking not only the income statement, we're going to talk about what we can do to have a personal balance sheet as well. Y'all like, she teaching accounting now. I ain't come over here for the accounting stuff. but you did. You came over for me. You're watching the videos, you're reading the messages so that I can pour into you so that you have your foundational principle ready to go so that if ever you get a notice from the state, if ever you get a notice from the IRS, if ever you need to make a business move and pivot, if ever you're going to go get another asset, you're trying to build your wealth, that you will have your financial position in your hand and you will start to make decisions off of numbers, your personal financial numbers, instead of making them off of emotion. We have got to be better. We know that the dollar is weakening. We know that people are coming for us. We know that our country is changing. So we got to do our part to not continue to be ignorant and argue that, man, they should have taught this in school. Well, they're not. And so now's our chance for us to become better stewards of what we have been given. And we can actually look at it, assess it, learn to do financial statements, not just for our business, but for our household, and make better decisions for us moving forward. Do not let all the sensationalism that's happening on social media and on the TV and across your timelines for whatever, or in your email box get to you. Make informed decisions, make informed moves off of your numbers. And it starts with knowing your financial position. Next week, we'll get into this a lot more. I'll throw some examples up and we'll break things down so that they're tangible. And we'll start working on templates and filling stuff out. And by the time we get to the end of the month, you will have a template. You'll have a resource center of software that you can use and some other tips that you can leverage. So by the end of June, we will all together have our personal financial statements for the middle of 2024, and then we can project on out for the rest of the year. Until next week, y'all. Peace.